going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NFL here, more specifically talking fantasy football because it is that time of the year, and more specifically than that, talking fantasy football sleepers. And when I say sleepers, of course, we're talking about guys that are a little under the radar, people haven't been paying attention to, that are getting drafted a lot later than they should be, and they are going to overperform their draft value. And right now we're talking about running backs, so this is part 2 of my series in which I will be talking about and going through every position offensively with quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. So with that being said, here we go with the running backs. So everybody knows about the Le'Veon Bells, the David Johnsons, guys like that. Ezekiel Elliott, even though he might be suspended, might not be suspended in terms of playing on the field this season. But everybody knows the studs. But who are the under-the-radar guys that a lot of people aren't paying attention to? Here to give you guys my top 5 running back sleepers. So with that being said, let's get started. Real quick, before I get started, this is in no particular order in terms of a ranking. I'm just going to be giving you guys my top 5 sleepers and just list it out just like that. And let's get started, okay? So number 1, my top, first sleeper running back is Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings. Guys, he's already impressed me in preseason. He's a second-round pick out of Florida State. Dalvin Cook is exactly what the Minnesota Vikings needed at the running back position. Last year, Matt Asiata and Jerick McKinnon were exchanging on who can embarrass themselves more for the Vikings in their putrid run game. Not to mention their horrible offensive line didn't help at all. And now you got Adrian Peterson out the door. He's with the Saints. So the backfield cleared out for Dalvin Cook. Now, I know Latavius Murray is still there, and he is on the depth chart ahead of Dalvin Cook as of this moment. And the reason I say that is because he is going to get every opportunity to win the starting job, and I believe he will eventually. Now, I do think Latavius Murray is going to start out as a starter. He's going to probably start the first couple games, but I fully expect Dalvin Cook to win this starting job, hopefully sooner than later, though I don't know really when. But this is a guy who I would draft, and again, as my probably RB3, and kind of just stash him away and know that he's probably going to be a starter eventually down the line, maybe week 3, 4, 5, 6, somewhere along those lines. So I love Dalvin Cook. Look to keep an eye on him because he is going way lower than he should be in draft. My second sleeper running back, and you guys will notice a trend here as I love rookie running backs, is Joe Mixon of the Cincinnati Bengals, who right now is going a lot lower than he should be because, like I said, he's a rookie. A lot of people don't pay attention to this, but Joe Mixon, the second-round pick out of Oklahoma, has looked real good in preseason. He's shown an ability to make guys miss in the open field, which is also something I love. We love that in RBs, especially in PPR leagues, where he can catch the ball out of the backfield and then, like I said, create yards after the catch. So I love Joe Mixon for that. And the thing with Joe Mixon is, if he did not have the off-the-field issues that he did, he would have definitely, I know for a fact, drafted in the first round instead of the second round, and he might be the most complete and talented back in his draft class. So Joe Mixon has all the talent in the world, and he is being given the ability, or I should say he's giving the opportunity to prove that. And right now, the depth chart in Cincinnati is kind of all messed up, but Joe Mixon has a chance to start here. Yes, that's right, ahead of Giovanni Bernard, ahead of Jeremy Hill, okay? And I love that because that means they already see the talent in this kid. I think he's going to be an integral part of their offense, and if he doesn't start right away, I have full confidence that he will become the starter eventually. I don't think Jeremy Hill and Giovanni Bernard are that good. I think they're okay. I don't think they're that good. I don't think they have the talent of a Joe Mixon. And so you're talking about a starting running back who's really good, and you can get him later on in the rounds. That's a sleeper to me. Love Joe Mixon, so make sure you guys look out for him. Mark him down in your drafts before the draft starts. Make sure that you can look for him. I like him as an RB2, RB3, so look out for Joe Mixon. My next sleeper running back, and let's switch it up from the rookie running backs, is Thomas Rawls of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Rawls came onto the scene late, okay? The Seahawks signed Eddie Lacy, and everybody expected Eddie Lacy to start, okay? Eddie Lacy was given another chance to be able to come in and win the starting job, and he was actually doing decent. He was able to, you know, drop his weight. He was able to stay in the best shape that he could be in top conditioning shape, and he still has not looked good. Didn't look good in preseason. Has been working with the twos in practice and training camps. And Thomas Rawls looks to be the starting running back. Right now, in the depth chart, he's running with all the ones. He's being given the opportunity to be the starter. And I believe he will end up being the starter. Eddie Lacy just isn't winning this job. And they've given him the opportunity to do it. And I guess he just doesn't want it. And Thomas Rawls, the thing with him is, last season he was hurt, but when he was healthy back in the 2015 season, he was very good, okay? I have the stats here. 147 rushes for 830 yards and 5 total touchdowns. I love Thomas Rawls. He's a bruiser. He's a power back, but he still is a little shifty to where he's not like Eddie Lacy, who's out of shape. But Thomas Rawls looked good. I think he's a starting running back for the Seahawks. Things could still change before week 1. But I like Thomas Rawls as a sleeper. I think he's going to go undervalued because a lot of people are going to think, oh, Seahawks have, you know, Lacy and Rawls and CJ Prosise, and who's going to be the starter? I think Thomas Rawls is going to be the starter, so look out for that. My next sleeper running back is Jacquizz Rodgers. Yes, that's right, Jacquizz Rodgers of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who is slated to be the starting running back for at least the first 3 games after Doug Martin got suspended, and he's serving that suspension and is going to be out the first 3 games. I see something similar to D'Angelo Williams when Le'Veon Bell was suspended, in which Williams had a monster 4 games, which Le'Veon Bell was out for. And I could see the same thing happening here. Jacquizz Rodgers has shown that he can come in and not just contribute well. He had 200-yard games in last season, I think in a span of 3 weeks, if I can remember correctly. So this is a guy who isn't just a replacement back. He was able to play, if not better, just as well as Doug Martin, if not better than him. So look out for that. And unlike Le'Veon Bell and the D'Angelo Williams situation, where we clearly knew Le'Veon Bell is the better back, here's the thing. Doug Martin hasn't looked like himself. He's very inconsistent. So Jacquizz Rodgers could not only start, but he could keep the job. And that's something you love for a guy who's not getting drafted nearly as high as he should be. If anything, you're getting 3 starting quality games out of him, and you're drafting him low because guys like Doug Martin and Charles Sims are going to go ahead of him. Now, I know Charles Sims is also there as well, but he's more of a pass-catching back. He's not like a power lead back like a Jacquizz Rodgers is. So look out for that. I like Jacquizz Rodgers. If not for anything, the 3 starting quality games. Next up, I have Bilal Powell of the New York Jets. Now, this is really something where I was really high on Bilal Powell, and now I'm kind of cooling off on him, but I still think he's a sleeper. He's still going undervalued from where he should be drafted. Look, Matt Forte is 31 years old. The Jets are awful. They're trying to tank. They're not going to play Forte, who is consistently getting hurt. He's been hurt in training camp. I know Bilal Powell has been hurt as well, which is why I've cooled off on him as well. But Powell is the younger of the 2 backs. He is the more explosive of the 2 backs at this point. And like I said, for me, it's a straight pick of he's going to go lower than Forte. Forte is going to go way higher than he should. Jets aren't trying to win games. They're trying to just tank. So you will be better off taking Bilal Powell just because he will get more work. And last season, he was able to get 722 yards on 131 carries. He's shown a better ability to work in space. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Like I said, he's a younger, fresher back than Matt Forte. So I know those were 5, but I'm going to give you guys 2 more bonus sleeper running backs, and these are other 2 rookie running backs as well. We'll first start with Joe Williams of the San Francisco 49ers. He was a 4th-round pick out of Utah. He's looked good in preseason. He's a little undersized at 5'11", but the key thing with Joe Williams is he could be a better fit for the 49ers offense under Kyle Shanahan. And Carlos Hyde, who is not deemed as a good fit, is kind of getting left out, okay? I mean, right now, it could be a timeshare between those 2. Joe Williams could win the starting job outright, but it's leaning in his direction. And this is a guy who I would draft and kind of just stash away because he could potentially be a starter. I like Joe Williams. Look out for him. And then Jamal Williams. So we're sticking with the Williams, okay? The 4th-round pick out of BYU of the Green Bay Packers. He is behind Ty Montgomery on the depth chart right now, but he is the most talented running back on their roster, I believe, and I think he's going to win that starting role from Ty Montgomery, who I'm not buying as a bona fide starting running back in this league. I think he is a hybrid at best, or if anything, a pass-catching back because he was a receiver. And I think Jamal Williams will eventually overtake him as the starting running back. If anything, a 3-down back, and then Ty Montgomery will be the passing down back. And in a high-powered offense like the Packers, you are going to want to have their starting running back. So another guy that I would draft and stash away in Jamal Williams. So there you have it, folks, my sleeper running backs for 2017. Please let me know if you guys agree, disagree. If you have more, leave a comment down below, and I'll let you know if I agree with them or not. If you have a question, hit me up on Twitter, link down below for that. Please follow me. Please subscribe if you like this video, and also give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.